Assalamualaikum Maya.
Walaikum salam. How's your Thursday morning going?
What does the what
Um,
arrangement in everyday conversation?
Sorry, I didn't catch that clearly. What were you asking about the arrangement of men in everyday production?
Where did the word alright original come from?
Let me quickly check what I can find. The name Dawad actually comes from Arabic. It's a form of David, and it goes way back to the Hebrew name Dawid, which means beloved. It's a pretty important name in religious history, too, being the name of King David in both the Bible and the Quran. You'll find it used a lot in Muslim communities across the world. Does that help clear things up?
Is alright constrained correct grammar?
I'm not following. Could you try rephrasing that for me? The audio isn't coming through clearly on what you said about grammar and constraints.
What is the difference between alright and alright?
Okay. So all right is one word. You often see it written that way. It actually used to be considered incorrect, but over time people started using it, and now it's pretty common, especially in informal writing. All right, with the two words, that's considered more proper grammar. Honestly, though, everyone understands both versions, so it's pretty much personal preference or just how you grew up saying it.
Why do some grammar experts dislike the word alright?
I need to dig around a bit for that. One sec.
How has alright changed our time?
Okay, let me see if I understand what you're getting at. You're wondering how the word all right, the one word version, has changed over time?
In which station do people commonly use alright?
That's a really interesting question. Are you asking where language patterns really shift when people move to a new place? It sounds like you're thinking about regional dialects or how different communities adopt new vocabulary.
How did alright become popular in working
Just looking
Asia?
into I'm not sure what you were asking about. Could you repeat that? Yeah, I didn't find anything that lined up with what you said. It sounds like you might have been thinking of a name like Baldry. That one actually comes from Old English and means brave warrior. Someone named John Baldry was a popular blues singer in the 60s and even had some early band members that became really famous, like Rod Stewart and Elton John. Does that sound like what you were going for?
Is alright more informal than alright?
Yeah, you're right about that. You can totally just say, it's all right. That's how most people actually say it in everyday conversation. All right does feel a little more formal, like you'd maybe hear it in a more proper context. What got you thinking about the difference between the two?
How is alright used in music and pop culture?
Oh, hey, just heads up, we're getting close to our 5-minute limit on calls, so we'll be ending soon. If you want to keep chatting, you can always call back later.
Why do younger
Bye. See you later.
generation use alright so often?
I'm having trouble understanding what you're trying to say about Planet Chan and a light soul of 10. Could you explain that get differently for me?
What emotion can alright express? What emotion can alright express?
That's a really beautiful question. What made you think to ask that right now?
How do stone change the meaning of alright?
I'm not totally following. Are you thinking about the word right in terms of direction or like what's morally correct? Or is this about literal stones changing something?
Can alright mean agreement?
Oh, wait. Are you asking about main agreement in writing, like grammar or something else?
Can alright mean recession?
I'm a little lost there. I didn't quite catch everything you said. Could you try that one again?
How do movies and TV show inflection the use of alright?
I think you're asking how movies and TV shows influence how we use all rights, or maybe write as in to actually write something. What did you mean there?
Is alright used differently in British and American English?
Yeah, that's a good one. I've heard that British English and American English really shift how they say even simple things. Like how Americans might say arrived, British folks might pronounce it more like ah, revived. Very different emphasis. What specifically are you curious about comparing between the two?
What are some famous ways to duties using alright?
I'm not quite sure what you mean by famous keywords to do to this. Are you trying to figure out what writers do with keywords or something else entirely?
Why is alright considered a simple affirmation?
Take your time. I'll be here when you get back.
How does alright compare to work like okay or fine?
I'm guessing you're asking about how to compare writing something versus just saying okay or fine, like when to put in real effort and when to just go with the easy answers. Yeah. Does that hit the mark?
What role does alright play in
I'm not
cancel
quite.
communication?
You were saying something about rules and communication. Could you finish that thought? I was listening, but the connection got a little choppy there.
Why do language trends affect word like alright?
That's interesting. So you're asking how language trends shape our understanding of life itself? It's funny how much of our experience is actually mediated through language. We literally think in words sometimes. What got you thinking about that connection?
Can alright have different meaning in different contexts?
Yeah, exactly. Again, is one of those words that changes a whole sentence depending on where you put the stress or what you mean. It's a little mind bending how much meaning gets packed into single words like that. What made you notice that about again? I mean, it's interesting. Sometimes words just shape how we see things, you know? But we're actually running on borrowed time here. This call will wrap up in just about a minute because of our call limit. You can always call back later if you want to continue our conversation, though.
Why is alright said to understand world divide?
I'm not completely understanding. Is this about a writing project or something about understanding how the world works? The division part might be what's throwing me off. Are you thinking about social divisions, like how society separates people?
What are common misinterpretation about alright?